Today we're gonna figure out what would happen if Devin killed Michael's entire family in the mission meltdown. But first, we gotta make a couple of changes to the beginning of this mission. So first, Jimmy never goes to the premiere with Michael, and instead he stays at the house, saying that he'll show up late just like the girls will. Meaning that Michael goes alone to the premiere, expecting his family to show up late. And as for the second, more important change we'll do, remember that part where Devin kinda subtly implies to Michael that his family will be killed? See, Devin in this version does not say shit, and Michael stays at the theater to watch the premiere. However, nothing would prepare Michael for what's next, and the moment he steps into his house, he sees every single one of his family members murdered. And even though Merriweather tried to make it look like a home invasion, Michael would immediately realize that it was probably Devin, considering their conflict that happened at the movie studio maybe just a couple days before this. And then an angry Michael would call Devin and say on the phone, screaming, all angry and whatnot, "You twisted fuck, you killed my family, what the fuck did they ever do to you?" But Devin would just be laughing on the phone and say, "Oh, what, your family couldn't make it to the premiere? Well, it's a real shame then, Michael, but don't take this personally." Michael would, now boiling with rage, scream into the phone, "I don't know how, and I don't know when, but someday soon I'll be there to rip your fucking head off." And Devin would once again just laugh and say, "Namaste, Mikey," before hanging up the phone. Later that night, an enraged and depressed and drunk Michael would grab his weapons, make his way to Devin Weston's house to try to settle the score with him. But see, what he didn't know is that the moment that they hung up on the phone earlier, Devin dispatched over 50 Merriweather mercenaries to his house as he was paranoid that Michael would go after him. And Michael would just barely, in his drunken state, make it to Devin's house and go through his door, killing the two security guards out front. But now not only is Michael drunk, but he's also hurt from the car crash. And in a matter of seconds, the once great Michael Townley would be no more, as he would be gunned down by dozens of Merriweather security guards, and Devin would just be inside, enjoying the show and smiling to himself. A few days later, Trevor would be in his trailer and would be watching the news, and he'd find out that a Vinewood movie producer known as Michael DeSanta tried to attack a local billionaire after his family died under mysterious circumstances. This would cause Merriweather to lose their license to operate in the US, and Devin Weston would be placed under house arrest while the investigation is going on. So now, instead of the whole security team, he was only being watched by maybe a dozen of cops. And that same day, Trevor would call Franklin and Lester to tell them what he's planning, and he would also ask them for help. Keep in mind, in this reality, Lamar was just saved from being killed by Stretch in the Lamar Down mission. That was just before the meltdown thing, and the feds also recently told Franklin to kill Trevor, and the big one hasn't happened, of course, and it wouldn't really happen ever since the crew couldn't do it without Michael. Instead, the crew would meet in Sandy Shores, and Trevor, Franklin, and Lamar would take a trip to Devin's house, and this time, he simply won't get away with it. Not only because, well, Trevor's literally after him, and that's enough on its own, but now Devin has way less security than when Michael tried to attack him. Trevor also has backup, which Michael didn't, and none of them are drunk. They are very sober and very angry. And with that, the trio would make it over to Devin's house, and they would make quick work of the cops watching him, and Devin would be shitting himself and would hide in that box by his pool where he did in the original two. And then when the crew finds him, Trevor would thank Lamar and Franklin for their help and whatnot, and he would send them to take care of their other targets, because there's still the matter of Stretch, Wei Cheng, and Steve Haynes. Now, Steve Haynes would probably be taken care of by Lamar, with Stretch having been taken care of by Franklin, and same goes for Mr. Wei Cheng Sr. But anyway, Trevor then tells Franklin and Lamar to leave, like I said, saying that he'll take it from here and that he'll deal with Devin Weston. Minutes later, Devin would be in pieces in the trunk of his own car, being driven out to the desert to be buried by Trevor, and the game would end with Trevor getting rid of his body, saying, "This is what you get for fucking with my family, Devo," showing us as the audience how much Michael and his family really meant to Trevor despite everything. And as for the other characters, well, like I said, they wouldn't really be filthy rich in this reality since the big one never happened, but they still mostly keep in touch, and Trevor would probably continue to visit Michael and his family's grave, knowing damn well that this time his friend's death was real. And with that said, I want to thank you for watching this little bit of a dark GTA 5 what if. This might be one of the darkest what ifs I have ever done in my life, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Of course, leave your suggestions for what ifs down in the comments, and if they're good, I will definitely do them. Also, do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, that all helps me out a lot. Until next video stream, bye bye.